Welcome to Bitcoin Smart Money, a show about Bitcoin, the US markets, and how to be smarter with your money. I'm your host, Mark Dukas. So I wanted to talk to everybody about our original buy back in, this is October of 2015, at around the 270 level. So we've been long in that trade on the daily chart, and we've had continual rebuys that we've gone through and progressed as Bitcoin has grown over the past few years. And what I wanted to do is provide a little outlet for people to gain those services, gain that insight, and kind of learn how the Bitcoin markets trade along with US markets, altcoins, and understand that just because there's a lot of fodder and hype around coins and stuff that you read, whether it's on CNBC, whether it's on our Bitcoin, our BTC, anything along those lines, it's going to be already baked into these prices. It's already going to be fluctuating tons of different people's emotions and mindsets and how they trade. And what we want to do is we want to eliminate that noise and be smarter with our money. We want to preserve our capital. We want to take winners and let them run. And we want to cut losers and get them out. Because we've all been guilty of doing the exact opposite. And why? Because we're not great traders at heart. We were not programmed to do this well. And the only way to really do it well over a long period of time is to do it with a system that provides practice. Why do you think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach? Because he's got a system. It's in place. He plugs in components, and those components do what his system advertises, and that's win. So that's what we want to do here with trading. Enough of the talk. Let's get into exactly what's going on. So with Bitcoin this week, we've had a little bit of disturbance going on with news and the mining issues that are going on, but we need to once again steer clear of that and just see what really came through. We had higher lows progress. The downward channel from 917, 920 in that range wasn't broken. It was tested, and from there we made higher lows. The official buy, we had a couple buys and sells. We were small losers in this time frame from let's say 980 to 1040. We had some of that sideways movement, but what we did is we had stop losses in place, so there were no losers more than a couple percent. And when we look at when the buy came in now and where it currently is in the trade, the difference in percentage points erases the losers. So you might have two losers here that you're seeing, but that one winning trade, because of what you're designed to do, eliminates that difference and it puts you back into the black. So let's look at that right now. The buy here on the hourly will get us in March 29th, and on the 30th we're in, or actually not the 30th, excuse me, the next hour we're in on the 29th. So it's going to be 7 o'clock. That 7 o'clock hour we are in, and that price point is at 11:15, we'll call it. So from 11:15 to now 11:91, let's go through 11:15, 11:91. We've got a 6.8% gain here on an hourly chart. So for me, I would like to say, hey guys, are we trading on leverage? Are we trading on straight up 6.8%? Because if you trade this on a 10x, you've got a 70% gain almost on your hands. So those are things that we want to address. And if you're watching the show and you want to write in and say what your position is and what type of exposure it is leverage wise, you can really adjust your trading position that way to mitigate any potential losses. Because with that 10x on the downside, if you're wrong, that stop loss better be in place so that entire position can be wiped clean. So with Bitcoin, we're long. Everything looks good. The chart is strengthening. We can even take it back. I like the 3-hour chart as well, because that gives us a little bit of a longer time frame to iron out anything and just give you that trend that will discern anything that's going on. So it looks good. It looks really good, and I am adamant in keeping that position. If we get a rebuy, I would update you guys. But from there, I say we hold strong. Let's move into Ether. What happened with Ether this week? As Ether progressed down, let's get into the daily. Ether kind of hit that top channel at 57, and it's slowly working its way down a little bit. But as that money and those gains evaporate from Ether, it went into Bitcoin, and we can see a little bit of that action from Tuesday, Wednesday, and even yesterday, Thursday, April 6th. So Ether, it's still long on the daily. It looks good. It's not a coin I'm huge into. There's some money to be made in that coin if you'd like to trade it. Let's look at the hourly perspective. The short came in on Ether on February 20th, and shortly thereafter, the next bar, we're short Ether here at that 47-ish range, 46.50, depending on when you could get your orders placed. So that looks really good. You're already in that trade nicely as well. One of the goals moving forward is to have a couple coins that I'll tweet about and put up when these buys actually come through, so I can tell you guys when the strength is coming in for the trend, and you can see it for yourself, and hopefully you can make some profits as well trading these coins, and we can go from there. For Decred now, Decred's a coin that a couple of my friends in a group that I'm a part of, they talk about it all the time, so I just started watching it here over the past few weeks, and it's made a tremendous move. From March 7th, the daily, we've got a long-term upward trend that's been solidified here, and at this 0002 level, looks like was a really good entry, especially because it hit 0.021 bitcoins per Decred. So that was pretty impressive. It sold off a little bit, broke it through some support. The next area of support it has is going to be 0007, and so at this 0.0075 level for Decred, it looks like it could have a little bit more downward movement into that 0.006 range, and then we can reevaluate from there. On an hourly, it also it's kind of crested, so it's just one to look into. I'd like to look at it more on a longer chart for something like this, but as you can see, even the 3 hour is starting to almost give us a sell. We're starting to get into that. It's time to maybe hold off and look for another entry point once it pulls down here a little bit further. Here we are into the Dow Jones. The job reports just came in. It looks like it missed pretty bad. The pre-market hasn't really seen much of it, and kind of like Bitcoin, the markets, the U.S. markets are shaking off anything that's been kind of negative. Look, we got the airstrikes last night in Syria from President Trump. We've just had a host of different issues here with overvalued markets, overvalued PEs, companies borrowing up the butt. And so, the markets have progressed nicely. Up over 10% since Mr. Trump's in office, and we've been long on the daily here since June 29th. So it's currently in trend. The trend's weakening slightly. I for one have actually been wrong on this projection. I've expected it to be crested much sooner, but this could go on through the rest of the year, and we're approaching that time kind of when the summer doldrums are coming into place, and they've got some tax sell-off. So it's going to be interesting. I'm on the sidelines right now with cash, just looking to see when that opportunity can be. As a young investor, I'm going to be patient. I'm willing to wait, whether it's another 3 months, 6 months, 18 months. Being diversified is really the key to this, because it's in these time frames that when things are overvalued, you think that you should be in, and you feel like you're wrong. Those are the times, honestly, that I've looked back and been like, but just sticking with my plan, just sticking with the idea that of what the goal is, and the goal is preserving the money I've made. The goal is growing the money that I've made, and how do I do that when things don't seem right? I need to be safe. When things seem like they should be stronger, and they have there's opportunity, that's when I need to go in. Like with Bitcoin, when I saw Bitcoin and that opportunity of a technology that really had fundamentally the strength of many companies involved into one asset. So I looked at it like comparing Tesla, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, putting all these different technologies into one, and then I could buy that, and it was in a bear market, and it was something that had already been around for many years. I thought for that first year and a half that I mean it couldn't have been a better time to have cash and move into such an amazing asset class. So, back onto the Dow Jones though. It's just something I'd be cautious of. Volume has shrank a little bit over the past few weeks. The VIX is still a little low, which gauges our the fear of investors. So it's something I just want to gauge cautiously over the next few weeks and see kind of how the summer turns out, and if anything does happen internationally. The meetings with China, the issues with Russia, all those things are going to be really important moving into the summer. So like I said, I think if you guys have cash, if you have coins that you can move around, there's going to be a lot of moves going on. I think you have some altcoin moves that are big. I think Bitcoin could as well with SegWit and everything that's going on there. It's a lot to process. So one of the things I also am really big on is trying to, what are you going to work on? Because some of you guys too that are watching probably have full-time jobs, or if you're a full-time trader and you're trying to dip your toe into something different. The key is don't spread yourself too thin. So for me, my focus is strictly Bitcoin. I trade these other coins from time to time when I see an opportunity on a daily chart. I don't mess with day trading these coins because you could just get hurt so bad on an overnight. There's a lot of inside information that's not shared. There's just things that could awry, and unless it's I'm going to the store for that lottery ticket scratch, I'm not really investing much into any of these coins unless I'm trading them on a longer term chart. I did that with Ether early on when it was below $1, and I just was doing Ether and Bitcoin and kept it simple. I wasn't even trading the SPYs or anything in the markets. And I really advise you guys do that as well. Just pick one thing. Pick one thing over the next 30 days. Take it, come up with a plan. What's your game plan for that topic? Is it going to be to trade an altcoin? Is it going to be to trade Bitcoin better? Is it because you've made some mistakes with over the past year? With it being up over 100%, were you a part of that run, or were you on the sidelines because you went in and you went out and you didn't understand how to trade the trend, and the hack for Coinbase last summer when it went down to 580 that messed you up, and before you got out at 600 you felt good, and then you see it go to 580 and you're like, oh, I'm a winner. But then ultimately weeks pass, the strength of Bitcoin, the fundamentals, the technology, everything goes back into place as it always is going to. Ever since Mt. Gox, we all should realize that it's kind of like when you break a leg, you put the cast on and then you start to heal. Bitcoin, it heals much quicker. So it's just one of those things. I think moving forward, we are in a good position. Guys, let me know where you're at. What are you looking for? Is there anything else I can do differently? First show here, I'm looking to grow, looking to change things up. I really want to provide quality content, so I'm going to try to do that moving forward. I wanted to get something out to you guys. It's been too long. I've just been thinking about things, typical starting issues I'm having, which a lot of people do have when they start new endeavors. I'm not going to do it right, all those things. So really try to do something, provide some positive feedback. I'm going to try and watch it back and see where I can change things. Hopefully moving forward, we can do something great together, make some money. Let's be smart with our money. So with that, I'm Mark Dukas for Bitcoin Smart Money, and we'll see you next time.